Muy buenas a todo el mundo, soy Guille Sánchez, una vez más con vosotros trayendo una nueva entrevista en nuestro canal de Algo de Rock. Hoy tenemos que darle las gracias a nuestro compañero Juanma Cisneros, que ha sido el encargado de haber preparado tanto la review del disco del que vamos a hablar hoy, como de haber preparado las preguntas sobre esta entrevista. Antes de comenzar, os recomiendo que activéis los subtítulos en español para que os sea más fácil poder seguir la conversación. ¿Por qué? Porque esta entrevista se va a desarrollar en inglés, porque nuestro invitado de hoy viene presentando el álbum debut de un nuevo supergrupo, de una nueva super banda, que es Social Disorder, y con motivo de la presentación de su nuevo trabajo de estudio, Love to Be Hated, hoy nos acompaña Anders Rönnblom. Hello, Anders. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, Anders, congratulations about that album. It's really amazing. But talking about the project of Social Disorder, how and when did you decide to create
it? I was thinking of it a lot after we in 2019. I had some ideas of songs on that, but in the fall of 2019, I just realized that the songs that I was writing, the lyrics that came along with it, was nothing that was suitable for anything else that I've been doing. So I figured, let's try to do something just without any other involvement except the new thing and the ideas that I had in my head. So that's how things started to grow. And then I realized that I just pick up the phone and I give some of my friends a call and see if they would be interested in doing this. And that's how things started to roll.
So you started in fall of 2018. So I think that all the work had to be like done by Zoom, Skype, and all that stuff.
Yeah, actually, what I did in the beginning, I took this one, and I added a click. I got a click in it, and I had headphones on, and I started the click, and I had my guitar amp hooked up. So I counted myself in 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I started to play the guitar. Then I did the same thing with the bass guitar. And I sent those two files to a friend in Stockholm who added just a simple drum beat to it. Mm-hmm. So then I started to work on the melodies and more of the lyrics. Then I did new guitars and new bass. But then when I had that pretty solid, I sent those files to Sean Duncan in Los Angeles, and he did drums on it, and I sent it to Snowy Show, and he did the drums on it. And then they sent it back and we put it together. Then I sent that to Tracy Guns, and I sent it to Dave Stone, Rainbow, and they put their stuff together, sent it back, and we just put it together. So it's like a worldwide music puzzle that came together.
That was the idea that I got in my mind, that it looks like a big puzzle of music. So it's really amazing. And talking about those musicians, it's amazing how many friends, like you say, you counted on, like Tracy Guns, Raddy Zarso, or even Jeff Duncan.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about working with them, and also the other collaborations that you had in the album?
Well, it was very easy. I mean, I met a tour together with Rudy Sarso and Tracy Guns in 2015 when we played with Killer Bee in the United States. So we had spontaneous contact, and they are super duper guys, very humble and very super professional. So when for instance, I sent them the stuff and they listened to it. And here's the important thing: they wouldn't do it if they didn't like what they were doing. And so they listened to it and said, "Yeah, we want to do this." And so they sent those things back. And the same thing with Jeff Duncan, because Jeff Duncan played with Killer Bee. He did an extra guesting when we played in Seattle, because he's the brother to Sean Duncan, who's the drummer in Killer Bee. So it was very easy, because we have to have one thing in our minds, it was during the pandemic, so nobody could meet anyway. So this was like a good opportunity to be creative and get something really good happening. And everybody got the idea of the songs and that. And I said to everybody, you put your touch to the songs. Be you. And they did an excellent job. It was easy, so easy to work with everybody. It was unbelievable. It was the easiest thing I ever done.
Well, when you let someone to be themselves in music, the best things are the results as songs. I think it's the common thing in the music industry.
Mm.
Well, the one that we know less in the band is Thomas Nordin. I think I don't know if I say it well. Um, this one is like a double question because how did you find him, and was he that kind of voice that you wanted, like Joe Lynn Turner, David Coverdale sound?
Yeah, it's a funny story actually, because when this was in January, February 2020, I believe, um, I showed the songs to Leif Elin, the keyboard player for Perfect Plan. We are old friends since we were like 15, 16 years old. And he said, you know what? I know a perfect singer for this, because Dreaming, that song, that's like a classic rainbow thing. Is like, you gotta, do you know Thomas? He says, I don't have a clue. Who? Thomas Nordin. And I said, I don't know. Well, here's his phone number. I'm gonna call him to say that you're gonna call him. So I gave him a phone call, and he's very super duper humble. He's an amazing guy. And he said, yeah, okay, I can give it a shot. So I sent him Dreaming. It came back, and you hear the result. There was like nothing more to talk about. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, where had this guy been? So I kept sending him songs, and I said the same thing there, because he's doing the background vocals. And I said to Thomas, be in the box of the ideas I'm having, the lyrics and the melodies, but you be you. And you can all hear the result.
Yep.
That's the best recipe you can have. You be you. Interpret the songs the way you hear them.
Exactly. And the result, as you said, it's really amazing. He has an amazing voice. I listened the album yesterday, and he has an amazing voice. I gotta say it.
Yeah.
And talking about the songs of the album, Love to Be Hated, uh, it sounds fresh, but you keep that uh, classical hard rock from the late 70s, 80s. But the question is, which are your biggest influences, even bands or another solo artist, to uh, get into this album or even the project?
Well, when it comes down to music, it's like I like everything basically that I can hear melody in. I like Elton John, for instance, and Eros Ramazzotti. I think it's great. I think the arrangement of his songs. But when it comes down to the hard rock thing scene, is that I started listening to Kiss when I was 11. But when everybody listened and loved Detroit Rock City, I liked Beth and Hard Like Woman from Rock and Roll Over. But I like I Want You. I like from Harder Than Hell. I like Parasite. Like those riff-based thing. And that's where it all started. But when it comes down to melodies and things like that, that's like the Rainbow, and it's Michael Schenker, and it's Thin Lizzy. Those are the main influences for me.
Well, as you said, classical ones that must be always listen.
Yeah.
And well, one of the biggest that you mentioned, Michael Schenker, I keeps me to the next question. You close the album with an instrumental song, uh, sorry, Winds of Serenity, that reminds a lot of the style of Yngwie Malmsteen, or as I said, Michael Schenker. What can you tell us about the idea of this song?
It's an instrumental song that actually, are you sitting down? It was written 1988.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, so I kept it in my files, in my boxes. So it's an old song that I really like. I like the melodies, I like the arrangements, and you're right. You hear the Malmsteen idea, you hear the Schenker melodies, the Scott Gorham, Thin Lizzy. So I mean I was only 22, 23 years old when I wrote the song.
So that song kept in a time capsule until almost more than 30 years later.
Yeah, it's true. And the fun thing is that it was Thomas from Ex-Romance. We had this thing going and we wrote instrumental songs together. And I said to him, you know what? I believe we have some instrumental songs lying around. And he goes like, yeah, but I was thinking of another song. And he said, yeah, I found the old tapes. I said, so he sent me the tapes. And I go like, holy, all right, this is the one. That's going to be re-recorded and put out on the album. And I think it's a great closing because it's the whole song is the whole album is about life story, but that thing is like Wings of Serenity just takes off and just leave everything behind.
Exactly, it's like a roller coaster, the album, and as you said, the end is the top of that roller coaster, that where the fun begins, but you say, well, if I want that fun back, I have to listen to that album again.
Yeah, that's great. I'm really happy to hear that. And yeah, and like I always say, good music never dies. It lives forever. It's like it's like this. It's timeless.
Exactly. Well, talking about the time, talking about future plans, what can you tell us about the future plans of Social Disorder? Do you have some tour plans in your mind?
Well, if I go like this, that's
Whoa.
another song. My whole table. I'm starting in July 4th and 5th. I'm going to start to lay down new bed tracks for the next Social Disorder album.
So you are also preparing the second album of Social Disorder?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. Well, now we got a premiere in this interview.
Yeah, I'm starting to do that because I want to, when things are in a flow, just keep going with it. And there is music around here, so I've been putting 5 songs together that I'm going to lay down now on the beginning of July. Lay down the bed tracks.
Is it because you had some songs that you've got written that went out of this album and you want in in an EP or long play?
There is actually 2 songs that I didn't put out on this album because Paul Chapman from UFO, Tonka Chapman, he passed away and he was supposed to play guitar on that one. That was meant him and Tracy Guns on that song.
Sorry
playing
to
guitar
hear that.
tools. Yeah, really, God bless him. But those songs are still on the side. They're in my box. But these 5 songs are brand new.
We'll have to keep looking at your moves in the social media also, but I'm not gonna talk about Social Disorder. What can you tell us about Killer Bee? Do you have something in mind to do something new with them, or you're gonna stay slow until Social Disorder moves?
No. We got songs for that as well that we're planning to start to record.
So you've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I love it, and the more the merrier, so to speak. I mean, we have now picked out all the songs for the next Ex-Romance album. So I'm going to go down to Stockholm here during the summer and put down the bass guitar and get that out of the way. So and so I just keep everything rolling.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye also on Killer B.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you're not gonna stop. So, well, we have to be looking at you every day.
Yeah, and you know what? Because I mean, you guys in Spain, I told you before the interview here that I've stayed in Canary Islands, and that I can actually give away some CDs and T-shirts for your fans at the radio show and for you guys at the Allegedly Rock.
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah, so you do something with them. You make a contest, whatever, and I send you Killer B T-shirts and CDs.
Well, we'll be on touch to do something like that. I think that our fans, also the fans of Social Disorder, will love to hear that. And talking about social disorder, there's a question that might be very, very important because there's a lot of musicians in that album. So
Yeah.
when you go on tour, I don't know, at the end of this year, maybe next, after all this pandemic situation finishes up, uh, who will participate? Because there's a lot of musicians and the stages, you will have to keep a big one if you want to go with all of them.
Yeah, that's a very special question. I got the ideas and I've spoken to some of them, but unfortunately I cannot talk about it because it's a
It's a
very
secret.
delicate situation. But I can say like this: if Social Disorder goes out and play, you will not be disappointed.
I hope so. I hope so.
Guarantee you.
Well, Anders, if you got something to say to your Spanish fans or around the world, this is your camera, this is your moment. Take your time, say something to your fans.
Okay, thank you. Hi, this is Andy, Social Disorder. I just want to say thank you to everybody out there that likes Social Disorder and given it the opportunity to listen to it and spread the word of classic melodic rock. And we sure hope to see you guys. May not, if you're not this year, but maybe next year. So thanks for support.
Well,
Cheers.
thank you again for this interview. Bueno, para la gente que ha aguantado hasta el final, bueno, ya podéis ver que Social Disorder viene cargaditos. Tendréis que estar atentos a sus redes sociales para que sepáis cuándo se puede venir ese nuevo material que se está avecinando. Con Killer Bee ya habéis visto que también hay que estar algo pendientes, que no hay que quitarles el ojo de encima, así que os recomiendo estar muy pendientes de sus redes sociales. Lo mismo que si aún no habéis escuchado ese trabajo de estudio Love to Be Hated, lo tenéis en todas las plataformas digitales, os recomiendo muchísimo que lo escuchéis. Recordaros también que Algo de Rock estamos en todas las redes sociales intentando ofreceros ese contenido de calidad que siempre os intentamos ofrecer a todo el mundo, ya sea a través de reseñas de discos, crónicas de conciertos, noticias o entrevistas ya sean por escrito o como esta por videollamada con artistas. Anders, again, thank you so much. We hope to see you soon in Spain, crushing some stages, even with Social Disorder or Killer Bees, and then have a beer to celebrate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you to you to be with us today.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
absolutely. Cheers.